morning. Welcome to 49ers in 5, your daily update on everything happening with the team that you need to know. I'm Rob Stats Guerrera. Today is Wednesday, April 19th, 2023. Here's what's happening with your San Francisco 49ers. Anyone that's been listening to this show for a while knows I have no love for SB Nation after they laid me off in January. But while that may be the case, you also know that I consider this to be a service job, and I will always put what's best for you, the audience, ahead of my own personal preferences. So, with that said, I wanted to bring your attention to the great story by Jordan Elliott of Niners Nation that could give you a big clue as to who the 49ers will draft about a week from now. You might have noticed that the team has had certain prospects to the facility for what's called a top 30 visit. If you don't know, every team is given a maximum of 30 pre-draft visits that allow them to bring a player to the facility. They can have a physical, they could do interviews, they can't do anything on the field, but they can have a more in-depth look at the player. Now, why should you care about this? Well, according to the article, since John Lynch and Kyle Shanahan arrived in 2017, the Niners have drafted multiple players who they have brought in for an official top 30 visit. In every draft they've conducted, by the way, they have taken at least 2 of those players. Obviously, they can't take everybody that they bring in for a visit. They only have 11 picks this year. And yes, some of those may be a smokescreen to throw other teams off the scent, but most aren't. So if you go to Niners Nation, you can see which players took a top 30 visit that were ultimately picked by the 49ers. And if you want to do a little early study session on guys you think the team may take this year, here are all the players who have had a top 30 visit with the Niners so far in 2023. Lance Boykin, defensive back from Coastal Carolina. Stephen Jones, defensive back, Appalachian State. Terrell Smith, defensive back, Minnesota. Jordan Howden, safety, Minnesota. Yaya Diaby, defensive end, Louisville. Tavius Robinson, defensive end, Ole Miss. Marte Mapu, linebacker, Sacramento State. Cameron Latu, tight end out of Alabama. Antonio Mafi, offensive lineman out of UCLA. And Dorian Thompson-Robinson, a quarterback also from UCLA. We always give you one thing to read, one thing to watch, and one thing you might have missed. One thing to read on this Wednesday, Matt Mayoko has a quick little draft needs preview capsule for NBC Sports Bay Area. He makes some good points about why the Niners could use this year's draft to help answer some questions in 2024. One thing to watch, Cardinals wide receiver DeAndre Hopkins wants out of Arizona, and he recently tweeted he don't even want to raise. Not surprisingly, that last tweet has since been deleted, but with the draft 8 days away, we are entering prime DeAndre Hopkins trade territory. One thing you may have missed, the teardown of the Los Angeles Rams continues. They have sent wide receiver Allen Robinson and a 7th-round pick to the Pittsburgh Steelers in exchange for a 7th-round pick. And if that weren't enough, the Rams are going to pay more than $10 million of Robinson's salary. The Steelers just have to pay the remaining $5 million. The Rams are desperate for cap space, and their rebuilding process continues. That's a wrap on today's 49ers in 5. Please rate, review, and follow the Gold Standard Podcast Network. Enjoy your Wednesday, everybody. Stay tuned for Stats and Cone. That'll be live on our YouTube page and more. Facebook page, by the way. We got a new Facebook page. Please go follow us there. I'm Rob Stats Guerrera. We'll talk tomorrow.